shit on the shelf, cause the way the real.
Whoops.
Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real rap is being real myself. Might not have to see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real rap is being real myself. Might not have to see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money, money, money. That's all you got to like roll there, wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, but not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's on you. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? Everybody do think about all the things that we did. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the wealthy class, Mr. H Cortez.
Good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the 13 Entertainment Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're not familiar with 13 Entertainment, man, it's a local event company that does family-friendly events, and they've got an event coming up this Sunday, July 9th, called Financial Love Making, and they've asked yours truly to come sit on a panel to discuss relationships and money. Do they go hand in hand? Why is it that relationships and money is so taboo? Why is it that money is the cause of most divorces in this country? What about entrepreneurs and non-entrepreneurs? Should they get together or should they not? Man, we gonna have a funky good time. So if you're in the St. Louis area, then I want you to come over to Legacy Books and Cafe, 6 p.m. Sunday night. Address is 5249 Delmar Boulevard, 63108. If you want more information, tickets are $7 at Eventbrite, $10 at the door. Give my girl AA, Angela Alexander, a call at 314-285-5017. It's going down, y'all. We got a wonderful guest of panelists. They will be on the show later this week to come share with you their personalities. Man, it's going down. We're going to have some great vendors. So you want to be in the building if you're in the St. Louis, Missouri area. In fact, stay tuned to the show on Wednesday and Thursday, because I'm going to be giving away a couple pairs of tickets to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful event. But you got to be tuned in to win. And of course, you got to be in the St. Louis area. Well, you don't have to be in the St. Louis area to win, but if you win, you have to be willing to bless somebody in the St. Louis area with those tickets so that they can attend. Today, we're talking about your prosperity is in your seed. We're going over the book by Dr. Anthony L. Trice. I'm just going to give you a couple of nuggets that I picked up out of this little gem right here. Wonderful, wonderful one. Your prosperity is in your seed. We're talking about prosperity from a biblical perspective. You guys know, as a Christian man, I try to teach you the nuggets and the lessons that I gain and glean from my spiritual walk. So we'll be talking about that in a second. But before I get into that, let me let you know exactly who this show is for. This show is for risers and grinders only, man. If you're ready to get up and get out and get something this morning, this is your show. If you guys are ready to take your legacy to another level, that's right. Before I lay down every night, I'm looking at what can I do tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next 10 years from now to make sure my children's children are proud to bear my name. Then yes, this is your show, right? Dame Dash said it best, man. I don't hustle for my first name. I hustle for my last name. My last name is what's going to be around for generations to come. So I want to make and leave a mark in this world and not just a stain. On the other hand, who is the show not for? If you are the type of person that can't stand money, you think capitalism is evil, you think wealthy people are snobs, then get off my stream, because everybody on my stream is wealthy this morning. So if that's you, you can exit stage left and we won't miss you. But what you have to understand about your relationship with money, it will dictate whether you attract money to you or whether you repel money away from you. See, some of you are saying that I don't want to be wealthy. That's why you're not. That's why you're struggling. Some of you saying, man, being rich is you'll never get to heaven being rich, right? Because you don't understand the word. Solomon was the richest man in the world. You don't understand the word. The father of the religion, Abraham, was extremely wealthy. So you're going to tell me that Abraham and Solomon, King David, you're going to tell me they didn't enter the gates of heaven because they were wealthy? That's your thought process. Get off my stream. And like I tell you each and every morning, if you've never seen a billionaire before, I want you to take a screenshot, jeez, and watch me work. 2027. 2027. I'm not only bold enough to tell you that I'm a billionaire in the making, my billions are being manifested each and every day because I'm putting forth the effort. I'm taking step by step. I'm willing to profess 2027. I know you're saying, man, you out your mind. You can't be a billionaire in 10 years. Go look up Uber and tell me when Uber was founded, and then look up how much Uber is worth today. You don't think I can be a billionaire in 10 years? Go look up when Uber was founded, and then go look up how much Uber is worth today. Y'all better learn how to set your expectations right, man. Y'all better learn how to push, and you learn how to aim for the stars, so if you fall short, you land on the moon. What if I only get 10% there? Think I can figure out how to live on 100 million. What if I only get 1% there? 10 million will do me just fine. I can change my community as a decamillionaire. Y'all don't hear me? Y'all don't hear me, right? Do me a favor. If you're checking this out on Periscope, then share this with your friends and your followers. If you're checking this out on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm about 50 away from 1,000 subscribers, y'all. So go ahead and get that subscription popping for me today. And same thing with you guys on Facebook. Share the stream if you haven't already. And then if you get time today, jump over to YouTube and go ahead and hit the subscribe button on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm supposed to unlock some other features at 1,000. I don't even know what they are, but Asia, man, we got to connect, Asia. I want to help you blow your t-shirt business through the roof. That's what the Black Wealth Movement is doing. And speaking of the Black Wealth Movement, let me go ahead and make that announcement before we get into today's show. Guys, if you are looking for ways to transform your life forever, it starts with the Black Wealth Movement. The Black Wealth Movement will help you take your finances to a whole nother place. And I want you to get something about the Black Wealth Movement. Yes, we want you to build wealth, but what we're really doing is we're rebuilding the Black community one family at a time. We're rebuilding the Black community one family at a time. We're taking brothers and we're fixing their mindset so they understand that we've got to be present in order to transform this thing. We're taking Black women and telling them that, yes, your enemy is not the Black man. Your enemy is those who are causing you financial stress and strain, because we don't start fighting one another in a lot of cases until our money ain't right. That's when we start pointing the finger at the husband pointing the finger at the wife, and get all kind of discord. So we're rebuilding the Black community one family at a time, because you cannot develop a community without a capital. You cannot empower a community without first empowering the people in that community economically, and all empowerment begins with education. So we're starting with a financial education, because a scholastic education is cool, will help you get by. A vocational education is cool, will help you survive. But the financial education is what helps you thrive. So we're going to teach you how the money game really works in this country, because those who know capitalize on those who don't know. And if you're serious, I want you to inbox me or direct message me if you are on checking out Periscope. Leave a comment if you're on YouTube, and or you can just simply text me Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. 314-874-6887. Time to get royalties. Our only enemy is ourselves and the limited knowledge one possesses. That's G. Keith Walker. You are absolutely right, my brother. And that's why I'm up early every morning with this show, trying to educate, inspire, uplift, and help our people get to another level. So join the Black Wealth Movement. Text me, inbox me, get a hold of me some way, and I will help you get this thing rocking and rolling. Good morning, Robert. Future Gains, Planning Future Gains is in the building this morning. So today we're talking about planning future gains, right, Robert? We're talking about your prosperity is in your seed. This is by Dr. Anthony L. Trice, Bishop over at Covenant for Life Christian Center. Good friends, part of the Black Wealth Movement. One of the only pastors that I have part of the Black Wealth Movement right now, because he understands that if we are kids of the kingdom, right? What most people don't understand, especially a lot of Christians, they don't understand what a joint heir is. If my father owns everything as king, then I too own everything as prince. Now, my father owns everything and rules the kingdom. I also co-own everything, I just don't rule as prince. So I want you to understand something, man. There's nothing wrong with you being a Christian and wealthy at the same time. The number to text is 314-874-6887. There's nothing wrong with being a Christian and wealthy at the same time. You only have your problem when you are a Christian and you let money become your God. That's the only time you have a problem. When you let money become your God, that's when you get yourself into trouble as a Christian. But there's so many Christians and people of other faiths in general that just do not understand the power in building wealth, right? And I'm not going to start quoting scriptures and all of that stuff, but I just want you to understand, we're going to go through this book right here. Your prosperity is in your seed, right? And one of the first principles I picked up out of this book, chapter 1, says, everything starts with a seed. Everything starts with a seed. I want you to understand something, man, about seeds. And you guys, some of you guys know I've been in the greenhouse and done live streams from the greenhouse. You know that I plan to grow some of my own food. I grow some of my own textile. I do grow cotton and things of that nature. If I wasn't so punkish, I'd be growing me some hemp, because y'all know that's the best textile that you can actually grow and create fabrics from is hemp. But yeah, I don't want them to kick in my door because they will see hemp and swear I'm growing marijuana, and hemp and marijuana is two different things. But anyway, I want you to understand something about seed. Everything starts with a seed, whether we're talking about trees that grow thousands of feet into the air, or we're talking about empires and dynasties that grow from the ground up, whether we're talking about relationships. Everything starts with a seed, everything. And if you don't understand that, that could be why you're not where you want to be in your life, because you're not sowing any seeds. You're not sowing any seeds. But the way God has designed and created everything, it's impossible to not sow seeds. I will say that there's a chance that you're sowing seeds. You're just not sowing the seeds of your own prosperity. You're not sowing the seeds to the things that you want. Chances are you're sowing the seeds to the things that you don't want, because you don't understand seed time and harvest. You don't understand what a seed actually is. Everything starts with a seed. Everything. And did you guys know that when you put a seed into the ground, that seed actually dies and rots first in order for new life to come forth? Did you guys know that? You put a seed into the ground, in order for the new life to spring forth from the seed has to rot first, and new life springs forth. The seed actually rots first, and new life springs forth. See, a lot of times we don't realize that in the seed, what happens is the reason that the seeds are in fruit is because God kills two birds with one stone. Now, I shouldn't be saying God kills two birds with one stone, but God takes care of multiple things in one transaction. So the seed is in a fruit because God has preordained us all to be fruitful and multiply, including the birds of the air, the trees and the plants. So the seed is in the fruit. Who eats the fruit? The animals, the living kingdom, the people, the animals. And we take those seeds. I take an apple and I'm starting to eat the apple. And as I walk and I eat the apple, most of us don't realize that animals eat everything. So as the animal eats everything, then the seed comes out the other end when the animal walks hundreds and maybe thousands of yards away from the tree where they extracted that first piece of fruit. And then the seed comes out the other end in what we know now as fertilizer. Now, we might call it something else, but it's actually fertilizer. It's the best place for a seed to come out in. And then that seed brings forth new life, dozens of feet, thousands of feet, tens of thousands of feet away from the original place. And that's how an apple tree is spread all over the world. So when you understand that everything begins with a seed, and the design of the creator is for us to spread seeds all over the world, then that's why this little gem right here says your prosperity is in your seed. Now, if everything starts with a seed, you have to understand what a seed actually is. A seed is your thoughts. A seed is your thoughts. That's what a seed is. Everything begins with a seed, and your seed is your thought. That's where everything begins. Everything that has ever been created has been created 3 times. It's been created in the mind, it's been created on paper, then it's been actually created and physically manifested. Right? Your seed is your thought. But you have to understand that what is the precursor to the production of an unlimited number of seeds? If your seed is your thoughts, what is the precursor to your seeds? Everything begins with a seed, and your seeds are your thoughts. What determines the types of seeds that you produce? It's your belief. How and what you believe determines the types of seeds that you produce, and you sow those seeds with your verbal vernacular. Your words are the sowing of seeds. How and what you believe are the precursor or determines the types of seeds that you produce. The words that you speak are the sowing of the seeds. So if I believe negatively, all I'm going to produce is negative seeds. And every word that comes out of my mouth is going to be negative, and I'm sowing negativity in my life, just period. And you wonder how everything that you do ends up bad, right? A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answers all things. People don't get that. People don't get that out of, and that's straight from Ecclesiastes 10:19. You got to have money when you are in this world, right? Now, as Christians, I'm taught to be in this world, just not to be of this world. I'm in this world, and to be in this world, I need currency to operate. But I'm taught to not be of this world, and I'm also taught to not let that currency rule me, or to let that currency compromise my integrity or do anything that is displeasing to my God to go get that currency. because it is he who supplies all my needs. So I don't do anything that compromises my relationship with my creator to go get the currency, because if I'm in a place where I don't have it and there is a need, he's going to find a way to fill it for me, whether I have the currency or not. So we're talking about the precursor to seeds. If you have negative beliefs, then all of your thoughts will be negative. Therefore, every time you speak, you're sowing a seed of negativity. That's why you're in a perpetual storm, because you keep sowing seeds of negativity, and those seeds go into the ground, they die, and then they come up and they bear trees, and they bear plants, and they bear situations that will ultimately bear fruit and produce more seeds of negativity, and you're in a perpetual storm because of the way you believe. Everything starts with a seed. What is the purpose of the seed? Again, this is a study from Your Prosperity is in Your Seed by Bishop Trice of Covenant for Life Christian Center. Dr. Anthony L. Trice, good friend of mine. He's part of the Black Wealth Movement, one of the few pastors that I have on board that is moving this movement into the churches so that they can use their influence to train people on biblical wealth building principles. See, God has blessed us to be blessings to others, but we can't be a blessing to others unless we understand how to be a good steward of what he's blessed us with. That's what the Black Wealth Movement does. We teach people how to be good stewards of the things they've been blessed with so they can be a blessing to others. The world teaches you how to be a consumer with the things you've been blessed with, and you ain't blessing nobody but the owners of the companies that you are consuming products from. And that is not helping our community because we don't produce. It'd be a different story if we were producing the things that we consume. Now, as a consumer, you're at least putting another Black child through college. You're at least employing another Black person while you're in your consumption mode. But because we don't produce, being a mass consumer is killing our community, because the money goes right out every time we get it. So the Black Wealth Movement is helping people shift their mindset and wrap their mind around this concept that, hey, we can rebuild the Black community one family at a time if we teach them how money really works in this country and how detrimental it is to be loose with your ends, right? So what is the purpose of a seed? It's simple. A purpose of the seed is to bring forth new life. The purpose of the seed is to bring forth new life. Now, you guys know as a gardener, right? I have an endless battle with weeds, right? I have an endless battle with weeds. Some of you guys are gardeners as well. Matter of fact, all of you guys are gardeners as well, and you too have an endless battle with weeds. What do I mean for you? For me, when I plant food in the garden, I have to make sure I mulch it up. I have to make sure I put things down. I have to make sure that I suffocate the weeds. So, because if the weeds overtake the garden, the weeds will grab and pull the nutrients out of the soil, and there will be no nutrients left for my plants, my fruit plants, my zucchini, my cucumbers, my black beans. They won't get any nutrients if I don't fight this battle against the weeds. Some of you guys have an endless, everybody, I'm not gonna say some, everybody has an endless battle with weeds in their life. But the problem is, what I want you to get is, you are the one sowing the seeds for the weeds in your life. Now imagine this. I have a hell of a fight on my hands just fighting the weeds that grow organically in my garden. What if I was also putting down weed seeds every day right alongside with my vegetable seeds, with my kale seeds, with my salad seeds, with my black bean seeds, with my cucumber seeds, with my cantaloupe seeds. That's what most people are doing because they don't understand that their seeds are the words that come out of their mouth. Their seeds are the thoughts that they're thinking. The precursor that determines what seeds they produce is their beliefs. They have negative beliefs, so they produce negative thoughts, negative words come out of their mouth, and they're constantly sowing seeds every day, all day. And they wonder why they keep saying stuff like, man, I just have the worst luck. Because they're observing the world that they created with the words that came out of their mouth, and they further compound that negative world by saying stupid stuff like, I just have the worst luck ever. See, how you believe determines how you think. Your belief system is responsible for the types of seeds that are created in your mind. And if you're not careful, we all produce negative seeds all the time, but you're not supposed to. That's why your mind is the filter to your mouth. You're not supposed to let those negative seeds come out and get sown. Right? I can go to the store and get some dandelion seeds right now today. Do I want to take those dandelion seeds and plant them in the same field that I plant my cotton? No. Do I want to plant those dandelion seeds on the same soil that I plant my kale? No. Well, actually, I do, because what y'all don't understand, most people don't understand, dandelion is one of the most healthy and the most nutritious foods that you can eat. But we're going to pretend that I didn't say that and you just think a dandelion is a weed, right? So I don't want to plant weed seeds in the same soil that I plant my vegetables. Otherwise, the weed seeds, they grow so much more prolific than the weaker vegetable seeds that they will overtake my whole garden. Yeah, I eat dandelion flowers all the time, Giovanni. It's good for us. Dandelion root tea. Come on now. Come on now. So you got to know how to heal yourself, man. You got to know how to heal yourself. So all of those things are important. So how you believe determines the thoughts that come into your head. You supposed to, now that you understand that the words that come out of your mouth is the act of sowing those seeds, even when a negative thought pops in your head, don't say it, don't sow it, don't sow it. Replace it with its positive counterpart. You see that in your life, you have negative consequences that keep showing up. Instead of saying, wait a minute, I'm not going to say I have bad luck. You say, man, I understand why these negative situations are cropping up in my life. It's so good that I've learned to change my thinking. So now everything in my life is flipping to positive. I don't say I have bad luck. I said, man, let me learn this lesson so I can get out of this storm, so I can get back to positivity in my life. Change the way you sow the seeds that you sow, and you will change your whole world. Right? So the purpose of the seed is to bring forth new life. Whether that new life is negative or positive, the seed is going to bear fruit of its kind no matter what. Right? So before I go into the last few points I want to make, let me give you my quote of the day. Today's quote of the day. It's not about the cost, it's about the commitment. I was listening to ERGJ this morning, and he was doing this Black Book Club show. And he's talking about why we don't invest as a community of Black people. And a lot of people say there is I can't afford this and I can't afford that. See, it's not about the cost, it's about the commitment. So you have to be really committed to Jordans to go stand in line for 2 days to spend $200 on a pair of sneakers. You have to be committed to that. Nobody's saying they can't afford it. Not only can you not afford the shoes in most cases, you can't afford to give up 2 days of your life standing in line to get them because time is money. And all we have in this world is time. It's all we have. So you give up 2 days of your life to stand in line at Best Buy to get the new iPhone that you're going to pay $800 for that you don't have. You have to be committed to iPhone. And he presents an opportunity for you to join a black alkaline water company where you get shares of the company for 5 cents a share. See, it's not that you can't afford it. It's that you're not committed to your future. It's not that you can't afford 5 cents a share. It's you're not committed to your legacy. Right? So it's not about the cost, it's about the commitment. If you want to learn more from Evan Jefferson, go to ergj.net. If you want to grab a copy of his new book, The Black Billionaires Club, where he studies 12 Black billionaires and gives you lessons from how they built their wealth, go to theblackbillionairesclub.com right now and pre-order your copy of the book. Book is scheduled to be released next week. I think we're still on schedule for that book to come out. Theblackbillionairesclub.com. I want you to ask yourself, when opportunities are presented to you, are you saying to yourself that you can't afford them? Or are you really saying to yourself you're not committed to the outcome? That's the question you have to ask yourself. ergj.net or the blackbillionairesclub.com is where you go pre-order the book, The Black Billionaires Club, the study of 12 richest Black people on the planet. And we'll give you the insights on how they built their wealth. So we're talking about Your Prosperity is in Your Seed, book by Dr. Anthony L. Trice. I know him as Bishop Trice of Covenant for Life Christian Center over here in Jennings, Missouri. Guys, understanding that your thoughts are your seeds. When you speak them, you sow them. Once you speak them and you sow them, you follow up what you said with certain actions. That is the nurturing and the nourishing of those seeds so that the seed can bring forth the plant of its like kind. And then once you feed and nurture that seed, then it will continue to bring forth fruit of its like kind that will produce more seeds. So another chapter in the book says, you will reap what you sow. You will, there's no shadow of a doubt, reap what you sow. Again, if you sow negativity, that's the harvest that you're going to produce is negativity. You will reap what you sow. I cannot plant an apple seed and get an orange orchard. It's not how it works. Some of you guys spew negativity all day from your mouth and you want this positive environment. Where they do that at? You spew negativity out of your mouth all day, but yet you're disappointed that you don't have a positive environment. You will reap what you sow. If you want a positive environment, you have to speak positivity. I cannot plant a cucumber seed and think I'm going to get a watermelon. That ain't how it works. You reap what you sow. What you put out into the universe, you are telling the universe, this is what I want back. So when you live negatively, you produce negativity, you tear people down, you fuss and you cuss. That is the environment that you're telling the universe that you want. So the universe produces whatever you sow. It's not hard, y'all. It's not complicated at all. It's not complicated at all. If you want a better life for yourself, then you start sowing seeds of a better life. You want more friends in your life? Show yourself friendly. You're not going to get friends by cussing everybody out that you meet in the streets. What are you going to get? You're going to get people that's going to cuss you back out. Period. That's how it goes. You will reap what you sow. You will reap how you sow. This year, I planted maybe 25, 30 cotton plants. Last year, I planted over 100. And guess what? I had way too much cotton because I reaped how I sown. I sowed a lot and I reaped a lot. I reaped too much, so I planted too much. You will reap how you sow, right? Talking about the quantity. You will reap what you sow is talking about the quality. If you sow this, you're going to get this. If you sow that, you're going to get that back. You will reap how you sow, how much. If I sow a lot of this, I'm going to get a lot of this back. If I sow a lot of that, I'm going to get a lot of that back. How much are you sowing? How much prosperity do you want? Some of us are so freaking stingy. We want a lot of prosperity, but we sow a little bit. Did I say that out loud? We want a lot of prosperity, but we only sow a little bit. I want to feed the whole community, but I'm going to plant one kernel of corn. Right? I want to feed the whole community, but I want to plant one kernel of corn. No, if I want a big harvest, I better sow lots and lots of seeds. The Tanya says, except when sowing money, you can sow money and get a different or the same harvest. No, the principle is the same though, LaTanya. The principle is the same. If I want more of a return, then I sow more money. Right? And even when you're sowing seeds, you do have to still take into account those seeds that are going to fall on the concrete and don't bring up anything. You got to take into account the seeds that will be eaten by the birds. You got to take into account the seeds that are going to fall onto shallow ground and they're going to spring up real quick, but then they're going to wither and die. You got to take into account the seeds that are going to be choked out by the weeds. It's the same with sowing money. So you have to account for that. That's why when I sow a row of seeds, I sow a whole row of seeds, and then I look at those that they all come up together, and then I start pulling some of those away because I don't want them to be overcrowded. But it's the same, right? You will reap how you sow. So the amount that you sow, the frequency of which you sow, all of that is it's the same. Okay, so I see where you're going. She said, yeah, the principle is you can sow money and reap peace. You can sow money and reap $1 million idea. You can sow money and reap health, right? But I even think that is has a lot to do with the thought process behind the sowing of the money, right? I think that has a little bit more to do with the intention. But I see where you're going with it, Latanya. Right? So you will reap how you sow, how much you sow, the frequency which you sow kind of determines how you're going to reap, right? Then the last one was powerful, man. What you see and what you say is what you'll be. What you see and what you say is what you'll be. So if you go back to the precursor to the seeds, remember, what are the seeds? The seeds are your thoughts. How do you sow the seeds? You sow the seeds with your words, and then you follow the words up with action. What are the seeds? The seeds are your thoughts. How do you sow the seeds? You sow the seeds with your words, and then you follow those words up with your actions. Hey, there's Bishop Trice. So we're doing a mini study of your book, Pastor. Your prosperity is in your seed. So your seeds are your thoughts. How do you sow your seeds? You sow your seeds with your words, and then you nurture and nourish those seeds with consistent action. Your seeds are your thoughts. How do you sow them? You sow them with your words. The things that you say. How do you nurture? See, when I put a seed in the ground, when I put my cotton seeds in the ground, I was out there every morning waiting for them to come up. And as I see something come up, I say, is that a cotton plant? No, that's a weed. Let me pull that out. I see a slug. Oh, let me get that off of there. Right? Because I don't want anything to kill the seed, kill the plant as it's coming up. So I had to first sow the seed. I had to first get the seed, then I had to sow the seed. Now I have to do daily action to nourish and nurture the seed. Now, in another month or so, the cotton will be big and robust enough to where I don't have to go out there. It will have developed its own defense system. So I don't have to go out there and deal with it. Same thing with your seeds. Yeah, we're going to definitely get you on the show when the new book is dropping this week. My days of having crumbs are over. So we're going to get Bishop Trice on the show probably next week to talk about his new book, My Days of Crumbs Are Having Having Crumbs Are Over. But we're talking about those seeds. So I have the thought, that is the seed. I sow the seeds with my words, and then I have to follow my words up with consistent action to nurture and to nourish the seed. That means when I see weeds coming near my plants, I have to get rid of the weeds. When I see people coming that will try to rob me of this seed, this little seedling that's coming up, I have to fend them off. That will be the people. See, people can be like weeds in your life. You have your seeds, you sow them by speaking positively every day, and then the people in your life can be like the fowl of the air who want to come and pluck those seeds and eat them so that they don't produce a harvest for you. Do you know how to fend off those people? People in your life, when you have your thought, you speak it, and you're taking daily action to nourish and nurture that plant so it can bear a harvest for you, people in your life can be like the weeds that will soak up all the nutrients around the roots of your plant so that your plant dies, so that your dream dies. Do you know how to get the weeds in your life out? We're talking about sowing seeds. The precursor to your seeds is your belief. How do you believe? How you believe determines the thoughts that you will have consistently. And if you keep having the same consistent thought, eventually those thoughts will come out of your mouth. And if you keep having those thoughts come out of your mouth over and over and over, that's why I speak positively over and over and over. I'm just spitting out seeds, rapid fire, like a automatic weapon. Because I know that the more I spit them out, the more chance I'm giving myself to have them take root and grow and produce a harvest. Because I know that some of them are going to fall on shallow ground. I know some of them are going to fall and hit the concrete. I know some of them are going to be gobbled up by the birds. I know some of them are going to be choked out by weeds. But I have to keep saying that I'm a billionaire. Keep saying I'm a billionaire by 2027. Keep saying I'm a billionaire by 2027. And then I have to keep taking the actions that billionaires take to get the billions to manifest. Give you a story real quick. The first time I let the words come out of my mouth that I'm a future billionaire, somebody laughed at me. The first time I let the words "I'm a billionaire" fall off my tongue, somebody laughed at me. Snickered, not really laughed, snickered. And then we caught eye contact and he realized I was dead serious. And he's probably still thinking to himself, this dude crazy. But because he knows me, he knew I was serious. He didn't want to offend me. So he kind of straightened up and was like, oh, okay, if you're serious about that. It's like, 1 billion? Yes, 1 billion with a B, right? 1 billion with a Z. A numeral with 9 zeros behind it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I know that when I spit my seeds out there to sow them, there will always be people around willing to grab those seeds out of the air. Now, it would be different if they were grabbing those seeds out of the air before they hit the ground and they took those seeds and sowed them themselves. Nope. They're grabbing those seeds so that they don't never hit the ground. They don't want those seeds to manifest and grow and produce a harvest for anybody. That's why you got to be careful who you allow around your crops. Got to be careful who you allow around your garden, man. Seeds that you're sowing. What you see and what you say is what you'll be. What you see is what you, and what you say is what you'll be. So we talked about your belief creates the seed of thought. Let me give you one more that your belief creates. Your belief creates the vision that you see. See, I believe a certain way, and I can see my harvest before I plant a single seed. I believe a certain way, and I can see a harvest before I plant a certain seed. There's too many people who don't have the right belief. That's why they don't, and they can't see the harvest, so they never plant. Right? What does the scripture say? I look into the clouds, I look into the sky, and all I can see is a storm approaching. And because I keep seeing the storm approaching, I say, hey, if I plant the seed now, the storm is approaching, the storm is going to wash out the dirt, so the seed will never take ground. So I constantly see the storm approaching, and I never sow. I never see the storm. I only see the harvest. So when you look out into your future, some of you guys can only see the harvest. As a black man building wealth and trying to help the masses of black people build wealth, you know what I run into all the time? Yeah, you can build a Black Wall Street, but they're going to bomb it and tear it down. See, somebody can only see the storm, and that's why they're not building. Somebody is saying, man, if you build this wonderful thing, a hurricane is going to come and knock the whole thing down. I can't see that. All I see is the harvest. You trying to really build a Black Wall Street? You know what happened to the last one? All they can see is the storm, so they'll never plant anything. They'll never sow because all they see is the storm. All I see is the harvest. That's the only reason I do so. I see the harvest. So I keep sowing, I keep planting. You guys, that is the ultimate faith, right? To be a gardener and to plant, that is the ultimate faith, right? I put a seed in the ground. I know nothing about how God makes this seed work. But I put it in the ground, and history tells me in about 7 to 10 days, life is going to come forth. Some of you guys don't believe in God's ordained plan. So you'll never put a seed in the ground. And sure enough, I put the seed in the ground. Now, I understand that you don't just put one seed in the ground. I put a whole row of seeds in the ground. Because in order for the seed to be activated with life, before in the creation of the seed, there had to be some pollination going on with a male plant and a female plant to activate the seed. Same way a man and a woman has to come together to activate the seed in the woman to produce new life. So I can't just put one seed in the ground. I have to put a bunch of seeds in the ground because some of those seeds were actually created without being fertilized. That means they'll never germinate. And here's what's happened to some of you guys in your life. You put seeds in the ground that had not been fertilized. So because those seeds aren't fertile, right? They were never cross-pollinated. They will never germinate. So you put a couple of seeds in the ground that never germinated, and because of that, you have never sown another seed ever again in your life. Some of you have sown a couple seeds in your life. What you didn't realize, though, is that seed that you had sown, there was no cross-pollination that took place when the seed was created. Therefore, the seed that you sowed was dormant. There was no life in that seed because it didn't get activated. It didn't get fertilized. So it didn't germinate. So you assume that all seeds are like that. So you never sowed another seed. Some of you guys sowed some seeds that were fertile, and the seed came up, but because you couldn't tend to it, the weeds came up right alongside of it, and you couldn't tell the seed from the you couldn't tell the plant from the weeds, and you gave up. It's like, oh, forget it. You didn't want to do the work of pulling the weeds out from around the seed, from around the plant, so you gave up. Some of you sown some seeds and the birds swooped down and started picking your seeds up and ate them all. And you said, every time I sow a seed, the birds just gonna come eat them, so I'm not sowing any more seeds. We call them haters today, right? Some of you sowed some seeds that went into the ground and they sprang forth almost immediately, and you were so proud, you were so happy, but you didn't realize that you sowed in shallow ground and it withered and died after a little while. and you internalize that, and you said that was my fault. I did something wrong. I must not be good at sowing seeds, so let me stop it. We call those bad relationships. You sow some time, energy, and effort into a bad relationship, springs forth with new love immediately, or sometimes infatuation and lust immediately, and it's great. And then that thing withers and dies, and you internalize that and says it's your fault. No, you sowed seed into shallow ground. That's the only fault that you have. And next time you have to sow that seed in some depth. You don't stop sowing seed. Don't stop sowing seed. So it's 8 o'clock. I've got some work to do. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're serious about the Black Wealth Movement, text me Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. If you're in the St. Louis area, you got to come hang out with my girl AA, 13 Entertainment. 5249 Delmont Boulevard, 63108. You can give her a call at 314-285-5017. She's looking for sponsors. You can still be a sponsor. I think she has enough vendors already for the event. But if you want to sponsor, if you want to give away a book or something like that, get in touch with her, man. We can do that stuff live in front of the audience. Promote your brand in the place. 13 Entertainment. The name of the event is called, if you want to go to Eventbrite, the name of the event is called Financial Lovemaking, after Dr. Boyce Watkins' book, Financial Lovemaking. So we're going to be having a discussion about money and relationships. Should an entrepreneur date somebody who's not an entrepreneur? Can they understand, right? Is that, can that work, right? If you're an entrepreneur, can you date somebody who's not an entrepreneur? Right? Or do you, if you're a corporate person, do you want to mess with an entrepreneur altogether, or do you want to mess with another corporate person, right? So we're going to be talking about that. How, where does money and love, we're going to be talking about how women have all these different side accounts, right, that brothers sometimes don't know about. We're going to be talking about how brothers sometimes have properties in other people's names and stuff like that, that the sisters don't know about when they come together. We're going to go hard, y'all. We're going to go hard. So if you're in that St. Louis area, I want you to tune in. By the way, no show tomorrow. I'm taking this a day off tomorrow, so no show tomorrow. But Wednesday, I will have guests that will be on the panel at Financial Lovemaking. So that's going to be cool. Come back Wednesday. You get a chance to win some tickets if you're in the St. Louis area. It's going down. I'm your man, H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community. Until I talk to you guys tomorrow, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get a copy of this book or books by other Black authors, I want you to go to books.financialhealthmentor.com, and I will have the link for that book up here very shortly. So until I talk to you next time, get your money up, because you can do it. Peace out, people.